sea rescue number is in your phone. And for most places, you just dial 112 from any mobile phone for an emergency, and make sure you have this number saved. And if you're in South Africa, you use the National Sea Rescue Institute's NSIR number for the region you'll be visiting. And this number is different, obviously for different regions, and can be found at the NSRI website, which is www.nsri.org.za/emergency-numbers. So that's good advice no matter where you're going, because you can get rip currents anywhere, but always make sure you have the local emergency numbers in your phone. If you're using a different SIM card when you get to your destination to save money on phone calls in the local area, make sure the numbers are stored to your phone and not to your existing SIM card. You can follow me on Twitter @holiday_hut. The Soyuz spacecraft used by Tim Peake in his Principe mission is to go on display in the UK following its acquisition by the Science Museum Group. Director of the group, Ian Blanchford, signed the landmark acquisitions document for Soyuz TMA-19M in the presence of RSC Energia, the craft manufacturers, and Roscosmos, the Russian space agency, marking the 50th anniversary of its first ever unmanned Soyuz flight. The spacecraft used by UK's first ESA astronaut in its historic mission to the International Space Station is set to inspire future generations of space scientists as it becomes the first flown human spacecraft acquired by the Science Museum Group for the UK's National Space Technology Collection. Speaking 1 year after being awarded the coveted Pushkin Medal by Russian President Vladimir Putin, Science Museum Group Director Ian Blanchford said, "Russian ingenuity led to the birth of the space age, and today it still plays a crucial role, notably in long-duration missions to pave the way for the next leap into the cosmos. It is a great honour to be here to officially acquire the first flown human spacecraft in the Science Museum Group collection, one which allowed Tim Peake to make his historic journey to the International Space Station, which we plan to share with the public to help to inspire future generations." The display of this historic object, which carried Peake and his crewmates to Expedition 4647 to and from the International Space Station, will build on the success of the Science Museum's recent Cosmonauts Birth of Space Age exhibition, which was visited by 140,000 people in Britain, becoming the museum's most successful exhibition ever. It is officially opened by the first woman in space, Valentina Tereshkova, with the legendary Alexei Leonov and Helen Sharman taking part in the events connected to the exhibition. Cosmonauts subtly opened up at VDNKH in Moscow in June this year, where it runs until January 2017. The General Director of RSC Energia commented, "We are honoured that a flown descent vehicle produced by our corporation will take its rightful place in the collection of one of the most important science and technology museum groups in the world. I would hope that this special symbol of Russia will become one of the highlights of the Science Museum Group's collection, attracting many new visitors." To mark Peake's vision to the International Space Station on the 15th of December 2015, the Science Museum welcomed 11,000 visitors to a celebratory day of events, including a live broadcast of BBC's Stargazing Live, which is watched by 3.8 million viewers. This is a government release press statement, so that's why I'm having trouble reading it. I can't speak civil servant. But for more details about the display will be released in due course, including when you can actually go and see it for yourself.
What about my phone call? I want to call my family.
Too late now.
Please, please, please.
Step through now, please.
Oh, no.
Too late now.
Here's the goods. You take them in false bottom bag, you strap them to your body, it's up to you.
Look, I've changed my mind. I want out.
Too late now.
So, you're offering me a free holiday?
Yeah,
I just have to bring back something for a friend of yours.
try it. You'll get some serious cash.
Right.
Well,
Not too late. Don't get talked into trafficking drugs. Once you're in, the British government can't get you out. Don't throw your life away.
Checking it out before you check in on the John Guinn Travel Show on ukhealthradio.com. Sticking with space, well, kind of. A galaxy of new Star Wars experiences is coming to Disney Hollywood Studios beginning mid-December. Guests, including fans of the epic space saga, will find new entertainment, special displays inside the Star Wars launch bay, the first ever theme tour and more at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Premiering this month for the Star Wars launch bay, which I mentioned, which is a multi-century space celebrating all things Star Wars. It is now updated with authentic replicas of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, joining other Star Wars memorabilia in the preview gallery. Making-of footage from Rogue One has been added to the Meet the Makers film featured in the Star Wars launch bay. In the popular daytime stage show, Star Wars A Galaxy Far, Far Away, guests will get a first look at AWR troops from Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Outfitted in their specialised stormtrooper armour with a dark, ominous gleam, these soldiers serve as bodyguards and enforcers for Director Krennic, a highly placed officer within the Advanced Weapons Research Division of the Empire. New Troopers sequence will join the show December the 16th, and there's performances daily. The fan favourite nighttime show Star Wars A Galactic Spectacular will return to Disney's Hollywood Studios on the 16th of December and join Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam as a second nightly fireworks spectacular in the park through December 31st. The show will continue to be presented in 2017. Starting mid-December, randomised tracks will be returning to Star Tours. The Adventures Continue, the popular attraction that uses motion simulator-based technology. Instead of each ride experience launching from the planet of Jakku, the attraction will be randomised to both start and end at different locations for every galactic journey. New scenes from Star Wars Episode 8 will be added to Star Wars Tour in the coming year. And new for 2017, for the Ultimate Fan comes the Ultimate Tour. An all-new Star Wars guided tour is a 7-hour immersion in the park's current Star Wars experiences, and this is what it includes. A Star Wars all-in-the-know tour guide, priority boarding for Star Tours, The Adventures Continue, encounter 2 Star Wars characters, Chewbacca and Kylo Ren, at Star Wars Launch Bay, an in-depth insider's tour around Star Wars Launch Bay, screening of Star Wars Path of the Jedi, enjoy Star Wars-themed menu items from the dinner at Black Lot Express, a spot in Star Wars The Galactica Spectacular Dessert Party, which includes dessert party, which includes theme suites and specialty beverages, as well as reserved viewing at the Star Wars The Galactic Spectacular Fireworks Show. Younglings, even aged between 4 and 12 on the guided tour package, can also train in the way of the Force in Jedi training Trials of the Temple. Priced at $129 per person, tours start begin January the 2nd and will be offered on Mondays and Saturdays throughout 2017. And reservations for January tours can be made soon. This latest flight of editions celebrating the Star Wars saga continues to elevate Star Wars presence at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Entire Star Wars themed lands are now under construction at the theme park and at Disney Park in California. You can keep up to date with travel news and leave me a message at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. My and finally story this week is another survey done specifically really to publicise a company. And media people such as me always snatch them up because they fill some space. But sometimes they're useful as well, and you can have a think through this one and see if it applies to you. So the holiday season is the time of year when far-flung families get together to reconnect with one another, exchange gifts and share in a holiday feast. Although that's what happens in America, because there you will be far-flung. So this is a survey about what do Americans say is the most annoying holiday traveller. According to the US Travel Association, visiting relatives was the leading reason for leisure travel in 2015. So it would be no surprise that the holiday season is a hectic time of year to travel. While most holiday travellers are in a festive spirit, there will be always a few bad apples who, whether they mean to or not, can spoil an otherwise enjoyable travel experience. Travelocity surveyed more than 1,500 people to find out which holiday traveller is the most annoying, and the most mentioned three were: 1. The oversharer. This passenger is excited to be going home to see family. I mean, really excited. So excited that she feels the need to share stories about every single relative. From a third cousin Bessie to an also adorable 2-year-old nephew. And thanks to the magic of social media, she is able to spend the entire flight sharing pictures of them all. Number 2 is the just one more eggnog guy. To this passenger, the holidays are about celebrating at 90% proof. After celebrating the season at the bar, he stumbles into his aisle seat singing carols, and of course he's going to get most of the lyrics wrong, continually rings the call bell throughout the flight just for one more Jack and Cola. Number 3 is Rudolph, even the red-nosed passenger. In his mission to get home in time for Christmas dinner, this passenger ignores the raging cold or flu he's had and has transferred him into a mucus factory. Additionally, he's invariably seated in the middle seat so he can share his bounty with as many people as possible. In the process of determining the most annoying holiday traveller, Travelocity has also found some travel hints to help you. Passengers looking to switch seats to be closer to or farther from their travelling companions are best off asking a woman, as men are twice as likely to be annoyed by a seat switcher. And finally, flyers who have had a couple of adult beverages prior to boarding would be well advised to avoid millennials, as they are almost 2 times as likely to be more annoyed by a tipsy traveller. What sort of traveller annoys you? I've covered various surveys finding annoying passengers throughout 2016, but what about you? What really upsets you when you're on your flight for your well-deserved break? Let me know, facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Well, that's it for this week's show, which was possibly my 200th or maybe my 199th. We're coming up to peak booking season. After Christmas, people start looking forward to their summer holidays. If there's any particular destination you're interested in 2017 and you want to know more about it, please contact me at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show, and I'll get somebody on to talk about it so you know whether it's a place or not for you. As I said at the beginning of the show, if you've got experience of travelling from the UK or the EU and you have specific requirements that need to be met by the airline and the airport, please do share your stories, good and bad, with me at the same Facebook page. I'd like to know how you got on. My own personal experiences with Gatwick Airport and my father-in-law and trying to arrange a wheelchair transport through the terminals, and it was very, very unreliable. But I'm going back 5 or 6 years. Maybe it's changed now. But anyway, whatever your experience is, please do contact me via the Facebook page. And I do hope you can join me next time on The Travel Show with John Guinn, where every week I'm checking it out before you check in.